fun. Grab your mat. I'm just going to begin in the middle of the mat. Excuse my sparkly slippers. Can you all hear me from here? Yeah? So with yoga you only breathe through your nose, and it's an ujjayi breath. So when you breathe in through the nose, you kind of hold it, retention through the abdomen, the transverse abdominis. We also call these bandhas. So we inhale, hold it, squeeze, connect your fingers in a mudra, close your eyes, and exhale, slowly release. Inhale. Your full awareness is on the breath now. Try and journey within. Follow the breath. Where is your energy directed to? Inhale up. And exhale down. And if you're still finding it hard to concentrate, take your mind off anything other external and just think of how your body's responding to the breath now. Full awareness of how the body and the breath unite. Inhale up. And exhale. You'll begin to feel a sense of feeling light. Your mind's a little bit more clear. Less distractions. Begin to feel a little bit more fluid. Especially with everything that's happening, our minds are constantly ticking. Too much information. Inhale up. And exhale. Last 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. So before you open your eyes, now that your mind's a little bit more clear, set down a motive, an intention. Even if you have answers that you need to call out for. If you don't ask, if you don't call out for it, how can it come to you? So just have a moment, ground your intention, ground your motives. Sometimes you don't even have to ask for anything. Give out, give something back to the world. And let's bring our palms together, center of the heart. Fingers together. Inhale, rise back up to the third eye. And if you want to say it, it's Om Namah Shivaya. Let's bow down, protect ourselves on the mat. Om Namah Shivaya. And slowly roll the spine up. Brilliant. Namaste, guys. Hope you're all ready to begin. So we're just going to work on light stretches through the neck. Remember, when you sat in Padmasana, if this is too strenuous, release both feet or swing your feet around. Just be comfortable. And always keep that spine nice and tall. Keep the breath absolutely fluid. Shoulders back, fingers in a mudra. Correct Padmasana. And then you try and infuse the breath with it. So at the beginning, I used to forget to breathe. And then I'd remember, okay, I'll have to infuse this into the asana. Things become a little bit more fluid, and the asana becomes a little bit more grounded. So throughout the practice, keep reminding yourself, okay, how can I perfect this? So we're just going to work on the neck to begin with. Small circulations. This is the Vishuddha chakra. also the color blue. The chakra of expression. Always inhale up, exhale down. So it's a sensitive area. Move really slow. You can freestyle this motion. There's no wrong or right as long as it feels good for you. Today is all about restoring, realigning, waking up the body a little bit more. Two more big circles. And bring the head back to base. Really good. We're going to work on the bandhas now, waking up in our nervous system a little bit more, just rocking back and forth into the sternum and pushing forward through the coccyx. I like to push my knees down with my palms. Squeeze the core as you rock back, fully engaging every part of your torso. As you rock back, you'll feel a nice pull down your shoulders and your lats too. Inhale up, exhale down. Change direction. Really good. Last one. Really good. We're just going to work on our shoulders a little bit. So we're going to bring the right arm behind the head. And with the left hand, you're just going to push it and guide it a little bit further down the scapula. So once that head's behind the elbow, you can then lift the head up just to intensify the stretch a little bit more. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can remove the left hand and interlock both hands behind the back. Try and keep that spine as tall as you can. Breath, nice and powerful. Focus on just the release. And change hands nice and slowly. Left hand reaches up to the sky first. Drop the palm down. Guide the palm a little bit lower with the other hand. You can either hold it there or you can interlock behind the back. Remember to push that head back, keep the spine tall. And exhale, release. Really good. Just give your shoulders a nice shake all the way up and down. All the way up to the sky. All the way around. Pushing that chest forward and down. And change direction. 3 more. And reach to the sky. Give your wrist a shake. If you need to warm up a bit more, do your own thing. Like, everyone has their own specific area they need to work on. So if you need to work on your wrist a little bit longer, feel free to do so. Move your fingers too. Today's going to be really light. Brilliant. So we're just going to bring the hands at the top of the mat, flicking the knees and the heels back. So instead of keeping your arms too far forward, I want you to bring them in line with the shoulders. I like to keep my hands in a kind of cupping motion. So I'm using my fingers too, no strain on the wrists. And you're going to rock back and forth, side to side. Make sure there's a gap in between your thighs too. Really good. You'll feel a nice activation through the hip flexors, the glutes, the hamstrings. Really ground the shoulders, ground the palms. Go all the way back if you want to. Three more big circles. And last one. Really good. We're just going to work on our scapular rotation before we do anything. So you can't see because I'm wearing a jumper. So the first one is by just dropping the chest down and bringing the shoulders towards the ears. Depression. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together as if you've got a pound coin in between your traps, in between your lats, and you're squeezing them together. Try to keep the abdomen, the bandas tucked in at the same time. It's a nice release in your rear delts. Instead of popping from your elbows, I want you to push out from the shoulders now. Feeling a nice release in the scaling. No stress in the elbows, remember. Inhale up and exhale. Let's go back down one more time. Try and touch your ears with the shoulders. Squeeze the scapula. Tuck the tailbone in. Gaze in between the palms. And push back up one more time. This time we're going to slowly drop the chest in between the two palms, really slowly. Try not to bring your elbows too far out. Scoop them in, gaze forward, engage the core, and begin to ground the chest down to the mat. Then we're going to tuck them elbows into the ribcage, resting the chest, resting the chin. It's a nice opening through the thoracic, all the way down to the sacrum and coccyx. If you're not feeling this, shuffle your knees closer to your elbows. Three more breaths. You're going to extend the legs now. Gliding up, rolling up to Cobra, Bhujangasana. Really good. So if you feel like you're shrugging still, I want you to really push the shoulders towards the ground. Don't pop the elbows. Keep the elbows tucked into the ribcage. Squeeze the thighs. Push down on the top of your feet. And lift that sternum nice and tall. So instead of just doing the stretch, try and understand what's actually happening to your body. How is it moving? What does it need to be perfected? You need to build up strength, flexibility. Focus on the breath. Can you hear the birds as well? They're all singing. Exhale all the way up to downward dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. So if you haven't done downward dog before, you keep 1 foot apart from each other. You're not too wide, not too narrow. So you see how my shoulders are in line with the hands? Begin to bend the knees just to begin with, if you've got tight hamstrings. The aim is to perfect the upper body first, so you're going to keep your spine in line with the arms, and then begin to extend the legs. But for the time being, we're just going to stretch it out, pedaling through one knee in at a time, swaying our hips side to side. Okay, carry on doing this. Because we're going to speed things up just a little bit more. So this is downward dog. Two more breaths. If you just want to hold it and isolate the stretch, you don't have to move. Don't worry if you can't ground the heels yet. It will all come with time. Really good. We're just going to come all the way up onto our toes, lifting them heels nice and high. And we're going to slowly begin to descend the knees towards the ground, but we're not going to drop them on the ground. We're just going to hover. Perfect. Rolling our shoulders in line with the hands. And then we're just going to rock back towards the heels. Extend the legs. Tuck the chin into the chest. And roll the spine forward into a higher plank. So your shoulders have levered forward. Your shoulders have passed your hands now. Gaze forward. If you find this difficult, drop the knees at any point. And rock all the way back to downward dog. Really good. One more roll. This time I want you to really emphasize on the lower back as you roll. So I'll quickly show you how I would do it. I'd roll, shin, higher plank, and then before you rock back, bend the knees, lift the head up, and stick the bum. So you see there's a nice arch in the back, and then rock back. Okay, so we're going to do this together. Deep breaths. Try and visualize the flow, visualize the wave whilst you're doing it. Keep everything fluid, it will come with practice. So we're going to bend the knees. Drop the chin onto the chest. Begin to extend the legs, rolling forward to a higher plank. Tuck the core in, never dip the hips low. Bending the knees, lifting the head up, creating a nice opening in the lower back. Slowly rocking back. Head up always. And then exhale to downward dog. Really good, guys. We're going to lift that right leg up to the sky, giving the right ankle a little shake. If you haven't done yoga in a while, you'll feel it in your hamstrings, guys. So be patient. Take as many breaks as you have to. And we're just going to drop that knee through the core, twisting the knee out to the right hand and the foot to the left hand. So we're in pigeon pose now, okay? If you can't do this, bring the foot a little bit closer and find what's comfortable for you. Normally, there's a big gap between the glute and the ground. So if you find like you're straining your wrist, try and find a pillow or something for that gap to be filled with. Okay? If you want to make it harder, bring the foot away from the body. That back leg should be completely squared with the hips. So lift that spine nice and tall. I like to push down on my knee, push down on my foot. Very good. Focus on the breath. And exhale, we're going to fold forward. You can either rest your head on your hand, up to you. Anyone with sciatica, this is a great stretch. Really targets your glutes, your hamstrings, even your lower back. Last breath, guys. Move around, tune into the breath a little bit more. Every time I inhale, I try and lift from the rib cage. So I like to reach out before I fold forward and down. Inhale, rising up. We're going to twist that left leg round and ground the right foot into the hip or into the bum. So you sat in a kind of like a straddle, semi-straddle. Left leg's extended. With this right elbow, you're just going to push that knee back, wrap it around the knee, and the left hand's going to come behind the back too. If you can't touch your hands behind the knee, don't worry, just try to. Left toes flexed, always flexed. We don't point in yoga. And you see how my shoulders dipping down? We're going to lift the spine tall and twist all the way around to the left shoulder now. Exhale, release. Bringing the right heel into the hip. We're going to reach down to the left foot, but before you do it, I want you to make space in the hip. So you're going to twist the torso around to the leg that you're going to drop down to. Relax that knee down. You can either keep your hands up or you can walk on the ground. Exhale. Try to keep your chest in line with the thigh too. Last breath. And begin to walk all the way around back to pigeon. Twisting that left hip round, swinging the knee through, back to the core. Really good. So the hands are exactly where you left them before you began. You're going to ground the left toes, push into the shoulders. Remember, suppression and protraction. You're going to push up from the shoulders, lift that foot and knee off the ground, and rock back up to single leg downward dog. Bringing the foot slowly out to the right side and back down to the ground. Stretching it out one knee at a time, swing side to side. Create a nice fluid motion through the hips, moving at your own pace. We're going to bring that left leg up to the sky now. Try not unfold from the hip. I want you to try and keep it squared. So you don't have to be in an actual split. You're just going to lift that leg up, really activate the right hamstring. Doesn't have to look perfect, it's all about how it feels. And we're going to swing that knee through and under, back into pigeon on the left side now. So the left knee to the left palm, left foot to the right hand. Realign your body, realign your foot position. Remember that back leg needs to be completely squared with the hip. Push down on your knee, give your quad a little massage, give a little bit of love back to the body. No tension in the lower back, remember. So just get a sense of the asana before we descend down. If you're not feeling anything, try and shuffle the foot a little bit more forward. Make sure you've hit the right spot, the right biting point for your body. So you can either drop the hands down and just rest the forehead. So you'll feel that the stretch intensifies a little bit more in the glutes and the hamstrings. Again, if you're not feeling it, you need to move around, get to know your body. Get to know how it works, how it moves, what it needs. last breath, guys. I'm going to do this leg from the posterior so you can see where my hands go on the left side. You're going to rise up. Remember, twist that back leg around onto the heel, toes facing up. If you feel like you've got a big gap between the bum and the mat, I want you to just rock back and lift that knee. So try not rock back with the knee grounded. Lift the foot up first and ground the glute. Brilliant. Tucking that heel right in to the hamstring. Brilliant. If you feel like you're not getting a good stretch, try and open up that straddle a little bit more. Open it up a little bit more. The left hand comes forward and around the knee, so the palm's facing the sky now. For those who wasn't too sure what to do with the hands, now you can see. Okay? The right hand comes behind and interlocks. Even if you can't interlock, you can still hold it there. Perfect. So both bum cheeks are grounded. You should feel a little bit more balance. And then from this position, you're going to gaze round to the right shoulder, but you have to swing the shoulder around too. And lift the chest and the spine nice and tall. Relax the hands. Tuck the heel into the hip now. Okay? So you've grounded the leg. Remember, you need to walk the body round. The torso should twist towards the side it's going to drop to. So twist the hips round and exhale down to the shin, down to the quad. You feel a great stretch right down your lats too. And exhale. Really good. Walking the hands back to base, twisting the back leg round into pigeon. Remember to ground the palms, ground the toes, lift the limb off the ground, so the foot, the knee, and then swing it back up to Adho Mukha, single leg downward dog. And either just drop the foot back down to the ground or swing it out to the hip and ground the foot. Shaking it off side to side. 3 more rolls and we're going to jump forward towards the mat. So create the nice fluid wave, bending the knees, dropping the chest, dropping the chin, and rolling forward into a lemur. 2 more. Remember to create a nice arch in the midline of the back. And forward. Squeeze the core. Flick the head up as you rock back. Inhale. And exhale. Tuck the chin back in. And flick the head back up to base. We're going to spring back and jump forward now. So as you spring back, 3, 2, 1, vinyasa up and forward. Extend the legs, halfway look up front. Inhale. If you can't touch the ground, hold your shins. Never put pressure on your knees, either above or below the knees. Make space in the breath. And exhale, begin to fold forward, back down to Padahastasana. Again, give the shoulders, the neck a wiggle. You guys are doing great. I'm going to do a standing sequence in a minute. Nice and easy. Try to keep the legs nice and extended. And we're going to begin to bend the knees forward, keeping that chest glued to the thighs. neutral spine. And we're going to swing the arms back so they're completely in line with the body too. At the same time, bring the shoulders back, and as if someone's pulling the chest towards the ground. Nice opening of the Anahata chakra. Neck is nice and neutral. Legs fully engaged. Keeping the body in the exact same position, we're just going to lift the arms up and bring them in line with the spine in Utkatasana. Really lift from the rib cage and reach as far out as possible. Pushing into the heels as we rise back up to Tadasana. Squeezing the thighs. Reaching out to the right side now. And over to the left. Bring the body back to base. Dropping the palms down to the Anahata chakra. Tailbone in. Flat back. Restore. Ground the body. Center the mind. We're going to begin by lifting that right knee up. Really good. A little bit more dynamic now. We're going to swing that leg back into warrior. At the same time, bring the arms back and keep the hips squared. And we're going to bring that leg through the gap. So we're not going to drop the foot yet. We're just going to lift the hip up and swing that leg back up. Okay? Follow the feet with the arms. And back we go. Warrior. And forward. All the way up. Inhale. And back. Keep everything fluid. Remember to always keep that chest open, shoulders back. Core is always engaged. Conscious mind, conscious movement, conscious breath. And again, you'll begin to feel it in your left leg now. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale, warrior. Take a big step at the end of the mat. Rise the palms up to the sky. If you need to shuffle your foot more forward, feel free to realign now. We're going to lift onto the right toes, drop the right knee down in Ekapada, bring the tailbone in, and slightly arch back. Begin to extend the back leg and reach forward. Remember, your arms should be fully in line with the spine. We're going to begin to drop that back knee down. And we're going to drop the elbows right into the rib cage, pulling the chest towards the sky. Really good. No tension in the neck. If you feel like you're straining, just focus on the release. Focus on what you're doing. Even the fingertips should be fully flexed. We're going to reach forward, lift that back leg up one more time. And back down. Exhale. chest up to the sky one more time. And reaching forward, ground the left foot, extend the back knee, and back down. Reaching up to the sky. We're going to drop the right hand inside of the left foot, okay? If you need to realign one more time, no problem. You can keep that back leg on the ground, or you can lift it off the ground. Completely up to you. I like to use my left hand to push the inner part of the knee away from the body, and the sole of my feet will lift off the mat. And you're just going to twist to the left shoulder now. If you want to make it harder, you can lift the back leg off the ground too. You'll feel it right in your hip flexors, hamstrings too. And ground the foot. Ground the palm. You're going to spring that back knee, tuck it right back into the core, and drop it aside of the other foot. Halfway look up front, inhale, and exhale, head to toe one more time. You're doing great, guys. You'll find one side's a little bit more balanced or stronger, but it's good. Just keep working on it. Everything will eventually balance out. You'll also feel like it moves a little bit different. Dropping the knees forward, keeping the chest glued to the thighs. Same again, but on the left side. Utkatasana. The first motion is by swinging the arms back, chest forward. You'll feel all the weight in the heels, nice soft knees, fluid motion. Inhale. And begin to swing the arms all the way up to Utkatasana, chair pose. Remember to reach all the way up from the rib cage, extend from the lats. Core is even a little bit more lengthened, a little bit more engaged. Legs are fully activated. Mind is focused. Begin to ground the heels, push back up to base, squeezing the thighs. Inhale. Bringing the hands back down to the midline, lifting the left knee off the ground now. Really good. Bring the arms up, and exhale, swinging back to a warrior. Remember not to drop the foot. You're just going to lift the hip up slightly as you swing the leg forward and back up to Uddiyana Hasta. And back we go. Really keep them shoulders back, chest forward. Rise back up, follow the foot with the hands. Find your balance. Inhale. You'll feel it in your quads too. And all the way back. 2 more. And last one. Inhale, rise. And exhale all the way back. Keep that chest open. Lean forward. Take a big step at the end of the mat. Ekapada. You're on the toes now. If you need to ground the foot just to find your balance, no problem. Swing the hips round. Always keep them squared. Your feet shouldn't be too wide apart. I like to picture a line in the middle of my mat. Brilliant. Everything is centered. You're going to bend that left knee slightly down. You're going to rise the palms up, pushing the chest forward, reaching behind. Exhale, reach forward, extend the left leg now, the back leg, extend it, all the pressure's on the front knee now, the front leg, arms in line with the spine. Slowly begin to drop the left knee down, really good. So, with the hands, you're just going to drop them inside. Right hand's going to drop on the knee. And the inner part of your foot is going to lift. At the same time, you're going to twist to the opposite side. So, you can either lift the back knee up or keep it grounded. My dogs are going to break through the door. No. Perfect. Jack, get the dogs. Sorry. So you're going to push to the opposite side. You can either get lower if you want, just to intensify the stretch. Shuffle around. Push the knee away from the body. And bring the body back to base. Brilliant. Keep that back knee grounded to begin with. So we're just going to work on pulsing up and down. So we're going to swing the arms up, lift the back knee off the ground, chest forward, and exhale slowly down. Reaching forward, extend the back leg. 2 more times, and down, and forward. Last one. And the last one. Rise back up, inhale, ground the palms, spring and tuck that left knee right into the core, and ground the foot. So you'll feel a little bit of a burn in your quads, hamstrings. It's a great isolation, a great contraction. Sway side to side, stretch it out. Halfway look up front. And exhale back down to Padahastasana. We're going to work a little bit on our back now. Nothing too strenuous. Everything's really light, really slow and dynamic at the same time. We're going to jump back or step back to higher plank, Chaturanga. Really good. And we're just going to slowly lower the chest down and scoop the body up to Bhujangasana. If you want to make this harder, you can lift your thighs off the ground too. So this is upward dog. But make sure you bring the shoulders back and the chest up to the sky. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes. Warming up the back a little bit more. Drop the knees and push back to child pose. Make sure there's a gap for your chest to fall into. Begin to walk forward. Keep the elbows off the ground. Drop the ears just in between the armpits. Soften the breath. Sliding the hands towards the body. You can either do a jump through or you can just slide your feet forward. For the yogis that have practiced with me before, remember, strong shoulders, soft knees, create momentum, up, through. Awesome. So we're going to make sure at the top of the mat, keeping that spine nice and confident, nice and strong. And we're just going to do some light stretches on our back. If you haven't trained in a while, you might feel a little bit stiff, a little bit achy, but everything is reversible. You just need to work on the areas you feel a little bit lethargic in. So we're going to push the knees away from the body. At the same time, we're going to lift the bum up. I don't want you to strain your lower back. It's not a competition who can arch the back the most. It's all about the isolation, the squeeze. So keep your feet in line with your knees. Lift the bum up. Push the knees away from the body. I like to bring my hands underneath the bum, interlock the palms, and stretch them as far out as possible. And at the same time, I'm going to push the chest up to the sky and ground the shoulders as much as I can into the scapula. Five more breaths. Close your eyes, drift off, focus on the rhythm of your breath. You'll begin to feel your muscles activate, weaknesses start to kick in. Last breath. Releasing the palms, dropping the bum down. You're going to grab hold of the knees, hands aside, and just rock side to side. Give your lower back, your glutes a massage. If you need to stay at one spot, just hold it there for a bit. No rush. Last one. And drop the bum down. Drop the heels down too. Next one, we're going to hold our ankles. So try and shuffle the feet as close up to your bum as possible. It's a little bit harder. Similar pose, but you should have warmed up a little bit more now. I like to lift my abdomen off the ground, so I push up with the heels, ground the shoulders. And we're going to begin a little bit more of an arch in the back now. So we're going to push all the way up to the sky. You'll feel a nice release in your hip flexors, your quads too. Try to keep your knees in line with the hips. So instead of going out, bring them in line with the body. And exhale, slowly drop the bum down. We're going to rock all the way up. Extend the legs. Lift the spine nice and tall. And fold forward to Paschimottanasana. So remember, if you find yourself dropping through the thoracic region, you need to recorrect this. I want you to begin to lever through the hips. So picture your body lifting up to the sky nice and tall first, making space. Then you've got more space for the fold. You can either hold your thighs or walk on the ground. Begin to lever through the hips, the transverse. See how my spine's still straight? The minute your spine begins to drop, lift a little bit higher, correct, realign, and then take another baby step forward. Keeping that spine as straight as can be. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Move with the breath. Two more breaths. And begin to walk back. Hands come behind the bum. Purvottanasana. Fingers facing the bum. You're going to lift the hips up to the sky, ground the feet. If you find this difficult, you can bend your knees, no problem. And drop the head back. Exhale all the way down. And walk forward one more time to Paschimottanasana. Exhale. Walking all the way back. This time we're going into Navasana, working on a little bit of core. So just bring the hands slightly behind the bum. You can either lift with straight legs, or you can bend the knees to begin with. And I want you to rock back so that your core is fully engaged. Because if you sit into the midline, it's kind of relaxed. So hold on to your thighs to begin with. Find that biting point. Begin to extend the legs, nice little gap. Chest is nice and tall, shoulders back. In Navasana. Burpees. We're going to slowly begin to unfold. Going as low as you can. And rising all the way back up to the sky, as high as you can this time. And a little bit lower, and then all the way back down. Hold it there as low as you can. All the way back up, inhale. I want you to try and reach out for your toes with your index and thumb now. So you're going to grab hold of your big toe with your index and thumb. Try to keep your arms, your legs fully extended. So you'll get the feel of rocking around on your bum cheek, on your bum bun. find that balance. You're going to begin to bend the right knee in and extend the left leg down, like a bow. And exchange legs. Extend the right leg, left knee comes back. Change foot. And left knee comes back. I like to bring the elbow inside of the knee. And bring both legs up and down to the ground. So you're going to point the toes away from the body now, just giving your shins a nice stretch. Push down. Bringing the hands back, shuffling the bum forward. We're just going to rock back to the ground. You can either keep your feet up or extend the legs. I like to bring the soles of my feet together just to get a little bit more of a stretch. And for a few breaths, we're going to restore the mind, restore the breath, restore the body. So the hardest thing for the body to do is to not think, to not drift off into nonsense. So the most addictive thing is thinking. Just try and drift off into your own world. Find that button, switch the flick. Begin to bring your breath back to its normal pace, normal state. No thoughts, no judgment. Just exist. Begin to be aware of your own presence, your own company, your own divine energy. We're going to place our hands over our eyes. Fingertips on the third eye too. You may see a color, a feeling, a smell. We're going to brush our palms over our head. Welcome back into the light. Brush our hands past our shoulders too. And then brush your palms together. Just take a few more breaths. And at your own pace, roll over to your comfortable side. Nice and easy. When you're ready, slowly begin to rise back up in the middle of your mat. Let's bring our palms together at the center of the heart. Thank you guys for joining me. I know it's virtually, but we've got to make do with what we have. Stay positive, stay safe, and hopefully all of this blows over as soon as possible so we can get back to our normal lives. Let's bring our hands all the way up to the third eye. I'm sending out all my energy to anyone suffering now, either patients or families. And let's all bow down with the Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And rise back up. So if you took part, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel a little bit more relaxed. And just have a great day, great weekend. Share the love, share the happiness. Oh, I can't wait to see you all in person. I hope you all had a good time. Thank you for yogaing with me. Oh, thank you. Have a great day, guys. One love.